So there's a whole host of ESG metrics that we're either required to report on from a regulatory perspective or expectations from other stakeholders as well. And we ourselves include a wide range of those in our own sustainability report. But how do we actually do that? How do we actually start to embed those metrics?
So in terms of driving the programs that improve the metrics. Exactly. Okay. So here I've got five top tips to share with you and the listeners today. This is from research, but also from personal experience and also listening to other sustainability professionals talk about what they think makes worse. And the first top tip is very much linked to what you were talking about and what we were talking about earlier. And that's about making the business case for the initiatives that you want to drive forward. It can be really alien if you haven't come from a finance background, or you're coming more from a perspective of, surely we should be doing this, it's the right thing to do. But being able to communicate that in a language of finance that your finance director and other people in the organisation will understand is really valuable. And on our course, we've got a whole module about economics for sustainability, which helps people build cost-benefit analysis for sustainability projects. Some of them are going to be more straightforward. So if you're installing an array of solar panels, it's easier to sort of demonstrate financially the benefits that you might get. But something like improving diversity and inclusion, it's about trying to find the proxy measures that will show you that you're going in the right direction and will help you build your business case for investment in those type of programs. So that's the first one, is build the business case. The second one is to make your sustainability projects a solution to someone else's problem. So this can be really impactful. Rather than saying, as well as all the other things you've got on your plate, you now need to...
You've got to do sustainability
as well. That makes it a chore. But if you try and listen to other people, understand their problems, the issues they're dealing with, and make your initiative a solution to their problem, that can be really powerful. That often involves using a language that isn't necessarily the language that you'd use to talk about the problem or the opportunity. And it can be about exploring what they really care about and finding a way to connect, because you might really care about one aspect of sustainability and they might not care about that, but they might care about something else. They might care about the social side. So finding that point of connection.
Finding those levers,
And a really sort of straightforward example of that at Argos was that I initiated a project where we started taking back end-of-life mobile phones and laptops. Right. But at the same time as doing that, it meant that we set up facilities in one of our distribution centres to actually refurbish and repurpose goods that had been returned to us. And so that was presented to the business as a solution to a returns problem rather than a sustainability initiative. Right. But it still achieved that goal of not having so much useless electronics lying around either in people's homes or in our distribution centres as returns.
So it's changing the language for the audience that you're trying to convince or communicate
Sometimes
with.
It's like a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
So you're sneaking in sustainability.
Yes.
So it's like you're finding common means to different ends.
Yeah.
So that doesn't matter because you're still getting the project.
Well, it goes
done.
to show it doesn't have to be this or sustainability. It's both together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great. Right. The third top tip is widen the accountability. So we talked before about the need for lots of people across different functions of business to have ownership for the sustainability strategy. You can't just do it in your team as a sustainability professional. And there's a number of ways you can widen the accountability. One of them is governance. So what are the working groups or committees that you set up to drive your agenda forward? The other one is embedding sustainability in processes. Processes, big or small. So what are the core processes that are happening every day around the organisation where we could just add a dimension to that process which would bring sustainability into the decision making? So, for example, at Argos, we had a product specifications sheet that had to be approved every time there was a new product introduced. We added a packaging weight figure on there. So they had to, and the target was their packaging weight had to reduce from one product selection to the next. So very simple, just adding a dimension. And then the other aspect is measurement, as we said at the beginning. So governance, processes, measurement, because what gets measured gets done generally.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So that's ways to widen the accountability. The fourth tip is to invest in partnerships and collaboration. So we talked about that quite a bit last episode. It can be hard to initiate a partnership with a competitor or an organisation that's very different from you, like a charity.
Yeah.
So it's about finding those areas of shared value. What's the common aspect of a problem that you're facing together that you can do something about better together than you could do separately. But in that case, you have to be really clear about what each partner's bringing to the table as well.
And build the trust.
Through that relationship. And the more you understand each other, the more you understand how your partner's going to derive value from the partnership, the more you can create shared value out of it. And then the last one, maybe the most important one, is don't wait for permission to act. I think we all have this tendency as we go through our careers to think, well, someone else more senior than me will take this forward or run with this. But I think it's down to all of us to take the initiative to try and do things more sustainably where we have a sphere of influence, no matter what that sphere of influence is. And people do pick up on your behaviour, big or small, and model that and emulate it. And that can have a big impact, a big ripple effect around you. And sometimes when you want to change the system, you can't change the system in one fell swoop. Sometimes you have to start with the small nuts and bolts, and then the success of those small changes can give people confidence of the art of the possible, and that can grow from there. So wherever you are, at whatever role you have, don't underestimate your agency to do things differently and better. And a very simple thing, again, this time at Cranfield, is when we run the residentials for our sustainability courses, we only serve vegetarian food. So people have to opt in if they want a meat option. And first of all, our catering team thought that was really weird that we were asking for that. But 2 years later, it's become very common now for a lot of events on campus to be vegetarian only. Yeah,
all sustainability events I attend are normally vegan as well.
Well, maybe we haven't gone far enough.
I haven't quite gone that far yet.
But the other aspect of that is don't wait for permission and also empower others.
Yeah.
So, we often talk about the fact that you need leadership from the top. You need to feel that you're empowered by your senior leaders, but we also have a role wherever we are in the organisation to empower others, whether that's to bring their ideas to us and share other ideas, or just get on and do some stuff.
Yeah. I think that one's so crucial because a lot of us who work in this field have done so in isolation for a long, long time. So we've had to develop those partnerships internally and externally to actually help us get stuff done. Yeah.
So don't underestimate your power, and don't underestimate how much there is innate desire in a lot of people to do things differently. It's just about empowering and unlocking that.